Yeah, better now than later.
Yeah. So did that submap in the past, it was possible to pass in two separate observer locations for the rectangles. Has that been taken care of in submap?
It properly. Like it should handle that correctly.
By transforming to the map frame?
Yeah.
I don't think the last time I had a look, it did not.
Okay. If it isn't, that's a bug.
Yeah, I reported it a while back.
Okay, well,
I think,
we should test
and
it
did
post
nothing
this
about
PR.
it.
Why is this generate user config file? Why do we need this?
Because at the moment there is no way to do that. If you wanna modify your local config,
It's just an easy way to copy across.
copy default config is a good idea. That's not good. No, why are you capturing that? What? No.
The JSOC error downwards. The fix error caused by trying to download files which don't exist in JSOC, which Sam wrote. I think I left comments on about a month ago, and he hasn't replied. So
Well, there's something blocking this. I thought Shane brought up in the coordination meeting. You know, it's left my brain. Oh, and then Stuart wanted a review from Monica, but that's probably not going to happen. Definitely not this week.
I'm not convinced that that's making it into. I'm not convinced that PR's making it into 2.0.
okay,
This is the quality flag one. Yeah.
shall we re-milestone then?
Yeah, I think so. The
To
problem with those, the problem with that thing is that it's just so gnarly that.
Yeah.
We don't want to merge it. Right.
Yeah, and we probably want some more direct JSOC feedback on that as well.
I would agree.
So whether it's
Cool.
Monica or Art or someone. Okay. All right. Well, we solved that one just by punting it. Perfect.
The best way. Punt it. Punt it all.
Okay. 4013 seems straightforward. Why are there 9 changed files?
Is this the constants one?
Yes. Oh yeah, sorry, I should have said. You don't have all the PR numbers memorized?
Slacking.
No, I have the list of 2.8 PRs up. I did read the number off, but I just wanted to double check.
I haven't looked at this constants one yet. Yeah, multi-line change logs don't work.
Multi-line. Wait, no, yes I do.
Do they?
I just wrote one the other day, so I sure hope so.
I mean, we should be able to tell by how it renders in the documentation build at the bottom.
Yeah, look at my deprecated one.
Well, which don't think it passed.
It did
Oh,
not
yeah.
pass.
I've just restarted it.
Okay, well, I'm pretty sure that Town Crier strips that kind of formatted multi-line stuff. But
Oh
maybe
yeah,
not.
this is a bit different.
Yeah, our doc build's failing on downloading a file in the example gallery.
No, of course it is. We don't want to do a release,
what is
right?
it,
It's
the
fine.
Is it the SRS file? What provides that?
That's the Nora client.
Yeah, that one.
No, the Noah client.
One of them.
I think it's in Noah, not Nora. Nora's the radio heliograph.
No, it's SRS Sunspot. Was it the Sunspot record? Sunspot? No, don't know.
Yeah, it is Noah. It's coming from ftp.swpc.noah.gov.
The question is, has the FTP server been turned off?
Oh God, probably.
Our
Is that what's happened?
Our
Well,
tests
I
don't
can
pass until-
access it. I can still access it from Firefox. They haven't turned that off yet.
Okay, so
I think it's.
the answer is the file changed?
I think it might have just been transient.
I've seen it happen way too many times to be
Okay.
happened on RTD yesterday. I think it happened it's happened on the doc build a couple of times. I made the assumption it was transient, but if it keeps happening, then
I've re-requested a review from Albert on that one anyway.
yeah, I'm hoping he will sign that off as well.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure we can just call 2.1 the coordinates release and be done with it at this point. What did you do in 2.1? Well, Albert rewrote half the coordinate stack and we shipped it.
You mean 2.0?
2.0. I keep doing that.
It's like,
I was gonna say,
did something happen?
2.1
I
will
was gonna
probably
say-
be the same.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Because I was going to say, I thought all the stuff got merged. I thought all this coordinate stuff got merged in. Good old Riot performing as well as it normally does.
Shots fired.
You need to blame the right thing, Nabil.
What, users using a service? Yeah, no, I definitely blame users. They should just delete their accounts and migrate to other servers. Like,
It's
How
not
dare they?
Riot's fault that it's slow and shit. I get that it's annoying that it's slow and
it's
shit.
Matrix. I mean, there's no difference. Like going, there's a different. Like, it's like going. Well, actually, it's Linux/GNU. Actually, and it's like, oh, incredible.
Well, if your bash prompt crashes, it's not the kernel's fault.
Sure, but Riot uses they're owned by the same company and it's intertwined.
I agree.
Go,
I
you,
appreciate.
you're putting a wall there that doesn't really exist.
That's fair. That's fair. I definitely get that. But at the
'Cause who
same
wrote-
time, it's not the
They wrote
client's fault.
okay.
Server
They wrote
shit.
okay. They wrote the client. They wrote the server software. They host the server. They own everything. They own the foundation.
Okay, let's move on. It's fine. We've had this discussion many times, and I'm bored by it. David, what about the single dispatching map thing?
It works as is. I think replacing the vended version of dispatch on second argument with single dispatch method could be another PR.
Okay, yeah, sure.
But yeah, it works. The code is now a lot neater. It's using single dispatch.
Yeah, I
love
like
single
this a lot
dispatch.
better.
I absolutely love single dispatch.
It still needs doing for time series as well, but I opened it and it was even worse. Than
Yeah,
the
it's
original
even worse because
map
you
code.
have the logic flow is more complicated.
So it's possible, but
There is, if you want to go, depending on how carried away you get when you go into time series, the recent discussions about having support for opening things like netcdf in map does mean that we could potentially refactor the time series handling out and then reuse it in map. Because the reason that makes the time series factory more complicated is the fact that sources can define how they open files, which the map factory doesn't do. The map factory relies on I/O being able to open it.
okay.
Yeah,
there's also just like loads of different signatures that are accepted.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was going to squash merge this PR then.
Yeah, but that's kind of a different problem. We can definitely do one thing at a time. This is way nicer.
Yeah.
Will sign it off and ship it. There we go. Oh, Nabil's already done it. Do. I approved it after merge. That's about right, isn't it?
Which leaves the what's new.
What about the VSO fetch?
Oh yeah.
Fix.
The VSO fetch fix, Joe commented, and we haven't updated it based on Joe's comments. So
I'm not sure what to update based on his comment.
Yeah.
We need to not do what we did.
Okay, so I'm going to punt this because I don't understand.
We can punt it, but it's a bug fix anyway, so it doesn't matter if it gets punted.
Okay.
I'm gonna add the back label port and
Oh, backport 2.0. Oh, wow.
Jesus. It's too soon for that.
We haven't even branched it yet. Actually, that's
Well, that's why-
true. If we merge that PR with that, it will go mad because it won't have a target branch to backport to.
It'll just fail
Well, I'm
like it
saying,
usually does.
well, I'm not planning on merging it for. I'm saying I'm not planning on merging it for 2.0, so I don't care
Sure.
Yeah. That's true.
because I'm not going to get around to that because I don't understand what the comment is.
Yeah, I don't.
The upshot of that comment, as far as I understand it, is we just need to copy this code that we were just using for the VSO provider to also use it for the SHA provider, and that's it. That should fix the bug. And for the record, it is still an upstream bug that we are working around.
Well, that leaves constants, which Albert needs to review. Rectangle for Albert.
I'm sensing a theme here.
And then there's the ATA clients that I need to finish off, and
I need to
update the
load
config.
up into my brain at some point.
And then I need to update the config. I need to update the config writing PR,
What needs to be updated there?
function name, and then to monkey patch the OS environment, the environmental variables.
Oh, I saw your comment.
Should be straightforward to do with using pytest monkey patch.
Okay.
I don't think we even need to unset them, do we? Why didn't we monkey patch them in the first place?
What are we monkey patching now?
The config directory environmental keywords. Why didn't we monkey patch them? Why did we write fixtures for them? There must have been a reason why we wrote the fixtures. Otherwise, we would have just monkey patched them.
I'm confused. To what are you referring?
The config. You can set the config directory via a bash environment variable. We mock them. We replace them in the test suite via fixtures. Or do we
Yes.
actually just monkey patch them in that fixture and we just import the fixture? Let me open conf test.
Wait, so if we're already using a fixture in comp test, why are they being set again here?
It's a great question.
I don't know.
Oh, because we're creating. Okay, so yeah, so we have a meta. We have a meta.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, not quite meta. Meta's the wrong word. We have a fixture that runs across the entire test suite, which replaces the config directory with a temp directory because AstroPy needs it.
Of course.
Well, and also just because we want our test suite to be independent of the user's config.
That's it.
Yeah.
And so we mock them, I think, so I don't. Thinking that we mock them so we don't affect the test suite that is running with any of those variables. So we have to change them and then undo them. I think that's the logic.
I'm
there.
confused as to why we're.
Or maybe it's just wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you can you not set up? Is that what the monkey patch pytest monkey patch does? Is it allows you to like set up like a OS environment like sandbox basically for
You just import it
test?
into the pytest and then you can do monkey patch dot. I think it's Evon, and then you just index it like a dictionary.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. Okay.
Or it's monkey patch dot something dot, and then I think it's actually a function call. And you just a string for the environmental variable and then the value. I forget which one it is. It's one of them.
Okay. Yeah, the setting and unsetting these is kind of.
Right, yeah. Yeah, monkey patch dot set env open brackets some stuff. I don't.
Okay, so that and the function name change for that one should be good to go.
Yeah, I'll do that.
And then the what's new. What is new?
What is the? Hold on, let me load up. Should probably do a diff between the two branches. See what actually is new.
I had a flick through the changelog and added a couple of things from there.
Oh yeah, that address registration. Oh, I completely forgot about this sample at chords thing. That was...
What have we got? Doc changes. Let's load up these 700 commits. Merge commits, doc changes. Line width.
Probably be a. Is there what's new? Is 3770 worthy of a what's new?
Sorry, say that again.
Is my Fido changes worthy of a what's new?
I would say so if there were doc changes with them.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah,
It's mostly developer API.
Yeah, I'd say that's not a...
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess the what's new is more aimed at. Well, I guess there's no harm in putting a developers only section somewhere, but
But the what's new is more aimed at user.
Yeah, and I guess the when you finish the Fido doc PR, that will be the equivalent.
pillow keyword args reference coordinate from Albert. He's going to write that probably. CI search docs atta repr socket change WAR split. Not seeing any of these things that need to be written in a what's new, if I'm brutally honest. I think it just literally just might be Albert's changes. Must be something else.
Well,
more
your Atlas registration PR is definitely worthy of a what's new.
Yeah, but that's again only developer. That's only.
No, it's not. All of the user-facing
Oh,
API for like
sure.
actual printing it and discovering the Atlas and stuff.
Sure, that bit. Yeah, I figure that might be useful for someone.
I mean, that's the bloody idea.
That means more I have to do.
Will messed up his deprecate AA prep changelog entry and used Markdown syntax instead of RST syntax.
Oh, God damn it.
It's all the same.
Unfortunately, it isn't.
No.
It's easy to fix.
Great.
Oh, of course, AI. Okay, yeah, AI prep, AI Pi should go.
Yeah,
that should be.
definitely.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
that-
I'll add a note.
Oh, rotated sun frame.
Oh yeah.
I think Albert had that on his list, right? Cool. Includes.
Oh, yes, he did. He just used
yeah.
a different wording. Yep.
So that's been pulled in. That's going to be in 2.0.
Yep.
So that's how we're doing rotation now.
Well, the old way is still there. It provides the groundwork for doing diffrop better, but we haven't built any higher level functions on top of it yet.
Yeah, we still have the old ways that we're not sure are even correct.
Which which almost certainly aren't correct.
Well, we're not sure that this one is correct either, right?
I'm more sure that it's correct. If that is a thing that is possible.
To discover.
What does it mean to be correct? Is also another question.
I mean, in all seriousness, validating that transform is right is almost impossible. Like,
There must be some way we can verify that.
You can validate the rotation coordinate system, maths is right, but actually validating it once you apply the transform to an image is very difficult. I think we just have AstroPy on the version bumps, don't we? Oh, and a very small matplotlib bump.
Well, I'm just coming up with ideas as I check through these commits. GitHub has not loaded all of these. This is not 700 commits worth of. I have to scroll through. Don't show me the first 250. I need the other 500.
So how are people, what's the documentation going to say for differential rotation then? Take your pick.
Well, the rotated sun frame stuff is documented showing... Is it? I think. Should we just deprecate the old function?
But, well, I mean, we can, but there's not actually an equivalent way to do that currently. I mean, like, you can, the pieces are there, right? But there's no like one-to-one replacement for what we have. So
yeah, that is why.
Arguably, there shouldn't be.
No, yeah, I mean, I think until we have kind of a more, well, I don't know, I don't know. I don't see how that could possibly make it into 2.0. But like the documentation exists for that, for the rotated sun frame. You can certainly use that documentation plus the functionality to do.
Well, I mean, there is literally an example of doing differential rotation on a map.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess we're being a bit contradictory in that we have kind of two ways to do the same thing that give different answers.
It's the grid overlay plot thing that makes me the happiest about that rotated sun frame. I just fucking love that plot so much. It was that plot I saw in Craig DeForest's reproject algorithm thing that made me suggest Albert that we could potentially do this, and I'd be like, if we did this, it would just magically work. And then he was like, oh, it would, and then Albert did it, and it was glorious.
So I see one big difference between the previous implementation and the new one is the heliocentric inertial frame, which just wasn't a thing in the, when I was working on the differential rotation stuff. So that's a big deal. That's a big change in the understanding of coordinate systems, right?
It's definitely like, I think at some point we need some sort of higher level wrapper that mimics the kind of existing interface that we have, where you put in a map, and maybe it makes some more assumptions. But you put in a map, you put in a delta t or a time, and then you get a new map rotated to that time.
Right. You don't want a rotated sun frame, whatever that is.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's is difficult to wrap your brain around.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, it is, but the fact that it's difficult to wrap your head around, and the fact that it works properly, is like Albert really worked that out.
No. So like,
It's
I don't
really good.
like. Yes, I don't. I'm not sure you should say works properly because we don't know.
Well,
Like
when I say works properly, I mean like it works.
Understandably.
Yeah, you can trace the logic through it, and also I'm pretty sure that Albert's like tested the actual transform mathematics.
Yeah.
So like,
Oh, I'm sure that's like I'm sure that's there, but there's just there's a like a fundamental difference between this implementation and the previous one, and that's the heliocentric inertial frame that just didn't exist beforehand. So I'm more like, having read this now, like I'm more willing to believe that the previous version is just wrong. Because we had that idea, was it David that sort of noted that when you rotated a position on the sun, it ended up inside the sun? So,
oh yeah, because the
yeah, because
yeah.
so I mean that brought up the fact that, like, you know, we'd been making this assumption about the coordinate systems that we were using, but that was not, those assumptions were not correct, because, like, if I believe right, the SunPy assumes inertial coordinate systems. Is that right?
All of the coordinate stuff is inertial, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, we didn't have that. Okay.
Well, and the other thing that's like, yeah, there's the transform with sun center thing as well now, which lets it not actually be inertial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just wonder, like, if, you know, whenever this gets released, we should probably deprecate the previous version, right? And then if
I think the thing with the previous version is that we don't actually want to deprecate it. We want to fix it.
Well, can't we use this rotated sun stuff to do that?
Yes.
I think, but rather than deprecate it, we should just rip out all the guts of the previous one and replace it with, you know, this logic.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I like that. Yeah.
We needn't even really. We don't even need a deprecation period. It's almost just like a bug fix in a way.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would imagine that it's going to come with some behavior changes as we stop and think about how to do it properly.
Yeah. It's certainly not easy.
So what do you give it at the moment? You give it an input map, an observer, and a time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can probably do that. Okay. Because basically what we would do is we would take a bunch of properties from the input map. Well, there's a bunch of the logic there. Yeah. Anyway, yes, we should just rip that out. And like Will says, I think there's an issue for it, right? We already made an issue for this.
Is there one?
Pretty sure I made an issue for this.
Jack, this means we can ignore all those tests that we did to figure out what the difference was between the sub maps and the full maps.
That's kind of what I'm hoping.
Yeah,
because that was a nightmare.
It's issue 3931.
You know what? I don't think that even works right with the. I mean, the submaps, submaps and the full maps should both have been wrong.
So the issue with using rotated sun frame with differential rotate is still with submap, because it's very difficult to generate the output WCS that you want. like it's definitely a tractable problem, but it's a complex problem. Whereas with a full Sun map, it's quite easy to generate the output WCS.
What was that PR? What was the issue number again?
3931.
Thank you.
Right. So, any other pressing issues for 2.0 or anything else that's on fire?
Submit your hack day ideas,
Yep, I was going to say hacks.
please.
Please.
Come listen to Laura's talk about SunPy today at
11 p.m. UK time.
yeah, like what time is this thing start?
Oh, when is that?
6 p.m. for us.
Why is it so late?
Because it starts. It's the hacking starts at midnight Dublin time. I don't really remember what the
Midnight UT.
what the logic for that
1
was.
a.m.
Or no, yeah, it's
1.
plus. Yeah,
No,
or
11 p.m. UT. Sorry, wrong way.
-1. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's the AstroPy talk and then SKA telescope talk, but those are like at 4 or 5 in the morning for us.
They're at reasonable times tomorrow.
Yeah, for you guys, yeah.
That means I've got to get up really early tomorrow to get the streaming rig online. Get up at like a real time of day. Boo.
Is anyone going to go to SciPy?
Oh yeah, I meant to sort that out.
Oh, the virtual thing.
$75 virtual.
I'm not
Seems
sure
like a
what
good deal.
a virtual attendance of SciPy is going to look like, but I'll give it a go.
Yeah.
So if anyone's interested in doing any hacking, I'm planning on hacking magnetogram map sources.
Cool. Yeah, I'm game.
What's the what have you got in mind, David?
So basically making map source classes for hold on, I kind of made a little list. So this is kind of the motivation is to make different magnetogram sources accessible and more usable with PFSS Pi. So creating map sources that fix some of the fit metadata and also possibly some FIDO clients. And also writing examples in the PFSS Pi docs showing how to use FIDO to get them.
Yeah, I saw someone was interested in PFSS, right, using PFSS. So
on the mailing list.
I might also be game for trying to put the output of PSFSPy in a ND cube if I get some spare time in the next 2 days. That might actually be useful for testing some of the stuff that I've been working on today. And by testing, I mean breaking horrifically.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, the next version of PFSSPy, which is horribly non-backwards compatible, because I'm now enforcing SunPy maps and AstroPy coordinates everywhere, which will be super cool.
Yes.
So yeah, like storing the output in ND cube is kind of the last piece of the puzzle.
It should be doable. So PFSSPy enforces spherical output, right?
Yeah, so it's
You can't like flip it into Cartesian mode if you wanted to do a small box.
no.
Because I'm assuming the algorithm is pretty much the same. It's still potential field extrapolation, right?
Yeah, well, the equations are the same. I think the algorithm PFSSPy uses is spherical specific.
Oh, like it does the differentiation in spherical coordinates.
Yeah, something
Yes.
like that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, okay.
The approach that PFSSPy uses, right, is not the same as the PFSS ideal code, right?
That is correct. Yeah.
Okay.
That probably means that it's better.
Um,
Oh,
Yeah,
damn it, I'm
another
on
thing-
YouTube slagging off IDL, sorry.
To delete this video.
Another thing I really need to do is add some actual tests to make sure it's doing sensible things.
Well,
Which I'm pretty sure it is, because it gives sensible output. But
You'd be the first.
well, yeah. But yeah, basically, I sat down and worked out the maps. But you could test spherical harmonic in, spherical harmonic out, basically.
It's one of the things that Alex tried to do in the
Solar B.
Solar B. He added like an analytical generator class.
Oh, right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I don't know. As always with hack days, I never know what I'm going to end up working on. Could be anything. To be honest, given the time pressures for the AstroPy feature freeze, I'm probably just going to end up working on bloody AstroPy. So,
No comment.
So is the AstroPy release schedule organized around the pyastro hack day schedule?
This is not fit for YouTube.
yeah, buy Will a beer, and then he'll tell you the answer to that question.
I imagine there will be several people kind of working on AstroPy related stuff. Presumably, I'm not sure. We'll see how many people
Depending
kind of show up.
Depending on what happens and stuff, I think.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of PRs I need to open. We'll see. Who knows? Yeah, but anyway, I'll be around, and I'm very keen to get Monica's affiliated package hack done. Like, that really needs doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
That's going to be, I think, my first priority.
That is
that one.
basically blocking our 2.0 release at this point. So we need to do that.
If anyone wants to work
I'm
on
off.
DEM stuff,
Thank
too,
you.
I'm doing that.
Bye, Jack.
Bye, Jack.
Bye.
Right.
You're not in Mountain Standard Time, unless you are. Oh, maybe you are. That's wild. Maybe there isn't any daylight time there. Daylight savings time there. Who knows?
Cool. Right. I think I'm gonna head off as well.
Yep.
Maybe see some of you later.
Yep, probably so.
Cool. Thanks, everyone.
Yep.
Bye,
All right.
everyone.